Win.
Take it away, lady.
Hey everyone, welcome to Wednesday night wine and dine. We got some good cooks tonight, and I can't wait to see Miss Linda's lava cakes. I thought about them all day, and then when I asked her about it, she's like, "What? So I think she forgot me. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Rory, are you gonna do the toast or Niall?
I got it right here. I'm actually doing a toast with the Nile Eddy.
Ooh.
It's our last bottle of red until I go see Nile on Sunday, and I got to get some more. But this wine is yummy. It's really yummy. So I might get a drink the whole bottle of myself tonight. I just saying, maybe. So I'm just, guys, I just can't believe we get to do all this, and I'm just going to put a cheers to the family here and everybody else, and we get to do it. Cheers.
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 What a way to kick off a call. Rory Rickard toasting with the Nile Eddy.
We had both of you in the speech.
Take it away, ladies.
So Jen, tell us about who's cooking tonight.
Tonight we have, I'm gonna say her name wrong, probably. Lori, is it Houlihan or who?
Got it. Houlihan.
Okay, so Lori Houlihan, she's doing the entree, and Mr. Peter's gonna do something special for us. Shane is doing the appetizer, and we're all looking at Valentine's. He's looking at the Super Bowl. I think that's the right one.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And then Miss Linda, she's gonna do lava cakes. So let's get started so I can see all this yummy food, because you know I can't be eating all this stuff.
Okay, Shane, time for your knife juggling.
I got the knife, so we're ready to go. Actually, we're just gonna go with bean dip tonight, make it easy. Right off the top, pop a cork, and off we go. So
whatever's easiest.
Yeah, whatever's. Sometimes you do need easy, right? With these great wines, but you want good food, you want good wine together at times too. So mix it up. Tonight we're gonna do the Bangle Bagel Bites. Yes, for the Super Bowl, because that's who's gonna win, because the Rams aren't allowed to win. So even though it's the wrong team to the Super Bowl for some of us, and lots of us, we're voting for the Bengals, right? So they're quick and easy. I did pre-toast them, and I'm not burning myself, which is pretty cool. So that helps too. And the way we're gonna have some fun with them and make them Bangle Bagel Bites, not just your normal pizza bites, is we're gonna find the pizza sauce that's hiding. So the other thing too with these, is yes, you can get over it by hiding the stuff under the cheese. Like if you want pepperoni, if you want the olives and the other stuff, if you want to spice it up, some jalapenos, things like that, you can get away with that. My wife has me put the paper underneath, so it protects the tray a little bit longer, because the cheese does get everywhere. But you can get creative with these. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to get the sauce on, and that's enough for today. And then we're going to, the way we're having some fun with it is I was told this was the white cheese. So we'll start with white. And yes, I cheated. I got it sliced already. All right, so then we're just going to take the white cheese on the sauce. You can be smart and use a knife to spread your sauce around, or you can use the cheese, because I'm cheating. Then, like I said, you can hide stuff under it. So we're going to do the whites first.
And I'm a big fan of anything that makes you not have a knife in your hand. So
Yes.
Thank you, Peter. Even a butter knife? They're easier to juggle. I'll give you that.
okay,
You want to see?
sure.
Thought you might. All right, and then I was told this was the yellow cheese. So we're going to have some fun with the yellow cheese. Is we're going to make the Bangle stripes. So we actually have the Bangle Bagel Bites. So we know who's going to win the Super Bowl. And what's nice with these is, yeah, I'm just making a couple for tonight's dinner. But then come Sunday, you know, you can, for those that are allowed to use the oven, unlike me, you can use the oven and do a lot more of them. But for today, I get to use, and I'm just going to do the strips so that we can have ourselves some Bangles. So I'll go ahead and put these together and toss them in, and you guys can move on to the next person.
All
Okay,
right.
well, let's hear about our entree, first entree there. You gotta unmute, so. Yeah, you're muted still.
Okay, I got it.
There you
There you
go.
are.
Last night,
Okay, what do you got for us?
I am doing meatloaf and it sounds really simple. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's like really easy. But because I normally just throw things together, I don't have a real recipe. So it made me make a recipe. I know. So I started a page for my recipe, but I didn't get it finished, but I did get the recipe finished. So I normally do a 3-pound in a big pan that I have. But so I did a 2-pound to show you guys, but I'm going to mix a 1 pound because I don't want that much meatloaf. I don't have a herd of people in my house. Okay, so I normally use like 90, 10 for my beef. I like a little bit of fat in it, but not too much. So that's kind of my preference. So I usually get somewhere around in there. And then, so my recipe basically is, I'll give you the whole recipe, but I'm only going to mix half. It's 2 pounds of ground beef and 3/4 of a cup of rolled oats. And of course, that's the instant, you know, the 1-minute quick oats. And then a cup of finely chopped onions, a large garlic clove, salt. I am not a big salt person. So I only put 1 teaspoon in the whole thing, and I use pink Himalayan salt. Okay. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. So I've got like the pepper in the little grinder thing. And then I use 1.5 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. And I used to just mix up a bunch of stuff, and my husband found this. So we've been using this. I really like this mix. And so it's just your typical Italian seasoning. And then a 1/2 cup of milk, 2 eggs, of course, slightly beaten, 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And then my husband likes it when I add a little bit of mustard. So like a teaspoon, teaspoon and 1/2 of mustard. I put that in with the top also. I add a little bit, but I mix that in with the meat. But I take the garlic, the onions, and I did add mushrooms. I did a cup of mushrooms. Those, it just depends on who's eating with me, whether they like mushrooms or not, or whether I add it, but I did add it tonight. So what I usually do is I take the onions and the garlic and I start cooking them. And then when they're about halfway done, I throw the mushrooms in if I'm going to do that. And I also throw in the Italian seasoning in there. And I kind of caramelize those a little bit. So I did that ahead of time. And I don't know if you can see that. That's what this is. Okay. And so I do it a little ahead of time so it cools off. And then I put it in with my meat. Now, this is a 1/2 recipe. And so I only have 1 pound of meat. So I put that in. And of course, my Italian seasoning is already in that. So I need to add my salt, which I'm only going to do a 1/2 teaspoon. Some people salt my food after, when they go to eat it, because I'm not a big salt person. So I put the salt in there. And as you see, I'm precisely measuring the pepper. That looks about good. And so I have all my seasonings in there. And then you wanted me to keep going and get it all mixed up? Does somebody else need to break in?
We're gonna jump to
Well,
Peter.
why don't I jump in at this point,
Yeah.
because I'm throwing in a special Valentine's Day entree.
Okay, well, I'll mix up my egg and get all the meat mixed up. And while you're doing
Okay, let me start
Sounds
on mine and
great.
we'll go back to you afterwards. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so what I've got, I am making what's called chocolate steak. Basically, it's a steak that I've had cooking in the sous vide all day. Everybody saw it a couple weeks ago. We were introduced to sous vide cooking. You'll see the end result of that again. And what I make is I make a chocolate compound butter to go on top of the steak. So I've already reduced the wine here, but I'm going to take a little more just so you can see it go, and a little bit of sugar into it. And basically that cooks down until it's almost syrupy. Now that'll take no time at all. You'll see that in just a second. And then I'm going to mix in the chocolate and some butter. Now you can see it's boiling already. This new toy, this is an induction burner, which is great. It gives you a lot more control than a normal electric burner. And then when you take the pan off, it's not hot because it doesn't cook by heat. It cooks by a magnet causing the pan to heat up on its own. So you can see there, that's gotten the bubbling down pretty good. You can see it's already, the way I move it's already pretty thick. So I'm going to turn the heat down to almost nothing. And I'm going to take the chocolate, a 70% cacao chocolate bar, and mix it in there. And my pot holders. About to burn my hand on camera. That would have been fun. So I'm going to take that, and it's all melting pretty quick, and turn off the heat and add about half the butter and get it all nicely melted. And that's looking pretty good already.
Now, is that butter, Peter? or
That's butter,
margarine?
butter. I always use butter. When I say butter, that's what I mean. I got this, I like the European style butter. It's a little higher in butter fat if you can get it, especially for something like this. And so that's, you see that it looks like a chocolate sauce. I had cooked that wine down with a bay leaf in it, so it had a little bit of herby flavor. And then let's taste. And you think it's going to look like a dessert sauce, but it doesn't taste like that at all. So get that out of the way and bring another bowl here. I'm going to take the rest of the butter and a little bit of cocoa powder and get that whisk together. Then I'm going to add in this mixture. And so I'm going to add that mixture in. Okay. And now I'm just going to get that nice and mixed together. It's kind of, again, it looks like dessert, it doesn't taste like dessert. It's kind of a little bit of a trick there. But this is going to melt the whole mixture together. The butter's going to melt in. And all the butter got into the middle of my whisk here, so I got to push it out a little.
Now, you said you used a bay leaf. What other kind of seasoning could you put in there?
You could put, if you have fresh thyme or something, you could put it in, but I wouldn't do it. If you have dried herbs, don't do it. It won't come out good. The only dried herb that would work is a bay leaf. So let's get this.
My grandma makes chocolate gravy and biscuits. You know what that is, don't you, Sheila?
Chocolate gravy and biscuits. Okay, tell me more about this while I get this fixed up.
It's just a chocolate gravy. You pour it over biscuits and it's delicious.
Is it sweet?
Oh, very sweet.
Of course, it's Southern. It's sweet, right?
Southern. Yeah.
Yeah, she lives in Tennessee, and I can't travel anywhere without going to see my granny, and she'll have that made just for me.
Same thing with molasses and butter.
Okay, now I have a second bowl with ice in it, and I'm going to do this. This is going to cause it to cool off and lighten up in color and get some air in it. So I'm going to be whisking this for a couple minutes. So let's go back to our meatloaf, see how we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, so I have the meatloaf all made, and there is something strange about meatloaf. You cannot play with it too much. It will change the texture and make it somewhat tough. So when you mix it, you want to mix it up, make sure it's mixed, but don't play with it too much. And I don't press mine flat in the pan. I make mine kind of look like a loaf of bread. I like it rounded on the top. And then I go ahead and put a little bit of my sauce that goes on the top, the glaze, which is ketchup, a third a cup of ketchup. Some people put more brown sugar. I think it's too sweet. I only do 1 tablespoon brown sugar, but I put a tablespoon of yellow mustard in it. So I put just a very small amount that I kind of put across the top. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I think it's too low, but I just, there, I kind of just spread it across the top just to give it a little bit of a glazing. And then the rest of it I put on later. Okay, so I have this, and see, and I don't know, can you tell? I like kind of round the top of it. And I don't know, that's just the way for
Makes it
leftovers.
look like a loaf.
Yes, it's better on a piece of bread.
Yes.
Silly.
Yeah, meatloaf sandwiches are amazing. Yes.
Yeah. He almost loves the leftover meatloaf better than. Then
Me
I
too.
this for
I'm
40
with you there. Yeah, I like the meatloaf sandwiches.
I
told her.
Then I put this in the oven at 375 for about 40 minutes. Now, if I do a big 3-pound one, obviously it's more. And then when I take it out, I finish putting the glaze on it, stick it back in the oven, and for about 15-20 more minutes. But you want to make sure your meatloaf is about 160 degrees inside. Then you know it's done. Okay. So I have a done one. Do you want me to show that, or do you want to move on to somebody else and come back?
We're gonna, let's check Miss Linda.
Let's check how Linda's doing.
I'm just sitting here watching everybody.
I know, I'm over here just watching, and Miss Sheila's over here doing the cameras and.
Yeah. So these are chocolate log cakes, the simplest thing ever. 2 eggs, an egg yolk. Whip it up with a fork. They all know, but I'm in my kitchen because my laptop is out at my daughter's in my office out there. So anyway, I brought all in here. You whisk the eggs up, and then you add the butter chocolate mixture. It said semi-sweet. No, Linda uses chocolate for everything. And I always go to Amish country and buy the bags that without all the paraffin in it. So that makes everything better. It doesn't taste like wax, right?
Right.
And it melts nicer. So you put, it said, I don't know, I think it said 12 ounces. I just threw the bag in there that I had. And then
Never have
how
too much
that's
chocolate.
how we do.
For having this.
Yeah. And then I needed 3/4 cup of butter, and then I put it in a boiler and got that all melted up. Then you put that in with the egg mixture, whisk it while you're doing it, or so the eggs don't cook. And then you add 3/4 cup of flour. That's it. And then it said to put it in 4-ounce ramekins. Well, my ramekins must have left the town because so I bought these bowls. They're little, but I make everything big, so it just goes with it, right? They baked up really nice. It's only 8 minutes. So once you come back to me, I'll do some decorating and putting together. But that's what I have.
You look good.
Okay, now I have my lovely assistant here doing my whisking for me. So I'm going to, because my hand is getting tired, also have another surprise for us tonight, which is yet another new wine that you've never seen before. I don't know, somebody may have gotten this because it's our February wines, but probably not yet. And this one is something we've never had before. This is the Discovery's Tempranillo. So Some of you are going, what is that? Some others are probably cherry. Tempranillo is a Spanish variety of grape that does get grown in other places, not as much. We got lucky, we got some grown in Napa Valley. And it's one of the most versatile food wines that you could ever taste. It's kind of a medium body. It looks dark, it looks very dark on the camera, but it's kind of a medium, sort of like a dark garnet color. And right now, this is my first time tasting it. The thing about Tempranillo is basically always a contrast. You have the fruity flavors and the earthy flavors, usually cherry and tobacco. And that's kind of what I'm looking for here. And the first thing I get out of it, I get some cherry and I get kind of almost cedar notes. And then when you taste it, yeah, the big black cherry taste right up front. And then as it finishes, you get that leather, tobacco, especially leather. I'm getting a lot of leather in this one. So leather and cherry are the big things there. Kind of some cedar, little bit of vanilla.
Ooh, I can't wait to taste that one.
Oh, this one is amazing. We've never had one like this before, and that's kind of why I was excited to share it tonight. And I know everyone else is using something else, but I had to give a little surprise. So the rest of you many of you, it's already on the way, and everyone else is coming very soon. But this is a great wine for things like, it would be great with pizza, with spaghetti. It's going to be nice. The chocolate in the steak is going to be the chocolate in the steak, because it has a nice tannic structure, but it also has some acidity to cut through that richness that like a cab doesn't normally have. So this is
pretty dry, Peter? Is it pretty dry because of the cherry?
Yeah, I mean, it's dry, but it has that fruitiness, a lot of fruit. It's definitely the New World style of, it's closer to the New World style with a lot of fruit, but it still has that traditional, leathery, tobacco-y and cedar notes in the background. So, but yeah, it's very dry, but that's perfect for this situation. So.
Ooh, Peter.
And I'm going to segue right into why we are here. For those of you, we just like Jen said, welcome. This is our Wine and Dine, and we are all part of an amazing wine club. And we like to come on here every Wednesday night to share our wines, get our new discoveries, and get some great recipes to go with those wines. Because in a wine discovery club like ours, sometimes you don't always know what you need to pair with your wine. I've always been told there's never a bad wine. It's probably just bad food. So we're going to eliminate that here by having good food and good wine. So our wine club is very reasonable. You can come in. These are Napa Valley wines. And everybody knows Napa Valley wines are very coveted. So you want to make sure that you are here to get those. And they're very inexpensive. You can get 4 bottles for as little as $100, or you can come in and be our wine snob and get the Grand Crude Pack Daddy box. So again, get with the person that invited you, that come here and enjoy this experience with us, and they can tell you all about it. So we have our chefs and our cooks here that is going to show you what wines they're pairing their foods with, and give you, like Mr. Peter said, great notes, so you can always get a wine education with your wine discovery here. So let's continue. Where is Mr. Shane?
Yeah, we haven't been.
Shane, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. So you want to know what wine I'm using?
Yes, sir.
I'm using this red. It's red or white. Those are the, but actually, I think this is called the Grenache from Discoveries, correct?
Yeah, that was a wonderful wine.
And this one goes well, I've noticed, with like Italian type foods. So that's why my wife said to open this one. So
Good choice.
we're going with the plus we got limited. And I will, that Nile Eddy that Rory toasted with, that's my daughter's favorite. Even though she turns 21 this June, she keeps stealing my Nile Eddy glass and I have it open. So yeah, all these wines, like they said, it's just, you get to discover some great wines, even if you don't know nothing about them like me. So do we want to start eating say
Yeah,
it 3
sure.
times fast, my bagel bites. You can say it 3
If
times
your
fast,
if
or
your Bengals are ready to roar, let's see them.
are we both gonna burn ourselves, or shall I use my mitt? Just checking. You started it, Peter. All right, so we have our bagel bites. I almost grabbed it without the mitt, so I had to ask. All right, so we have the discoveries, and my glasses hiding back here. All right, so I did pour some. Wasn't that smart? And let's see which one. I'll show you which one's the prettiest. Actually, this one kind of sweet. See, so I have my little bangles. It worked. So
Did.
the bagel bites. You can have some fun with them. And like I said, you guys can say it 3 times fast while I jump.
Uh-uh.
If I could say it once right.
So the cheese and the pizza sauce definitely brings out to something different than what I was drinking earlier during the toast. But I'm not like I'm not pulling out pieces, Peter. But I do actually I like it better with something versus by itself. With this Grenache. So yeah, it's now like we found with the other bottles, it is good with the different Italian foods or any like red sauce.
Yeah, that's what I like. The Grenache and the Tempranillo, especially, both of those are going to be great wines with things like, Italian tomato, pizza. It's great with the sort of all the in-between things.
So I'm looking forward to that new wine. Thanks for finding out.
Yeah. So anyway, I know I mentioned steak here, and you haven't even seen the steak yet. But so here we do. This is the steak. It's been cooking in my sous vide for a while. And now the thing about sous vide cooking is it comes out a little gray on the outside, so you need to sear it at the end. And I'm going to try to figure out a way to do this without knocking my camera over here, because I put it on my paper towel holder, which I just realized was not the cleverest move. You want to dry it really good. And then this is fully cooked in the middle. It's perfect medium rare. But I need to get a little bit of a sear on it. So I got this thing. The cool thing about an induction burner is you can actually set it by temperature instead of just by high or low. So I have this set for 400 degrees. And I'm going to let the burner heat up just a little. And once it gets really, really hot and low, I'm going to get my thermometer out here. Check it. Let's see, 350, 384. There we go. 400 degrees. So we're going to get a nice sear there. Really just about a minute on each side. And once that's done, I can I'll carve it, put it on the plate, and taste it with the wine. So while I have that searing, let's see how our meatloaf's going.
Okay, so this is the meatloaf that I made earlier, and kind of browned it a little.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. And so we're going to take a piece of that out of there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And I also kind of made an experiment with Brussels sprouts. I don't like Brussels sprouts.
I love them.
Went to a restaurant, and for their hors d'oeuvre, they took Brussels sprouts, cooked them, sliced them, and then sauteed them in probably olive oil. That's what I did. And Italian seasoning and some balsamic vinegar. And then I did cook potatoes. I cooked them. This pan's cooled off enough. I cooked them in this pan. See, it's a triangular pan, and it has a lid. It was my mother-in-law's. I have no idea how old this thing is, but you can bake a potato in it on the stove. It will not burn on one side or anything. That's how even the heat is in it. It's a German pan. She was German, So it came from Germany, is what I was told. Okay, dear.
Okay.
We have the Tanya.
Goes well with meatloaf and that. And, you know, we have moved recently, like in the last year, and we can't find our wine glasses yet. So
Yeah.
we're improvising.
They're somewhere.
Yeah, but anyway, this goes real well. And then we also didn't open this one, but in case you wanted, another one that's go well with this is the Pinot, the Discovery 2017. So both of these, you know, if you drink them both, that's great.
So
I like your idea. I like your approach. Drink both of them.
Okay. So very good. I know it's good because my wife made it.
There you go.
Aw.
Perfect.
Oh, man.
Very good.
does it taste different with the meatloaf?
Tastes real good.
I-
This wine is just a little bit on the dry side, but the meatloaf, it makes it come out sweeter. So,
Oh, terrific. That looks great. You're making me hungry.
I know, right?
Fortunately, I have food in front of me, so you saw I just seared it. It doesn't take long because all I did is want to get that nice crust on it. Now, when I like to serve steak, I slice it because I think it makes a nicer presentation. You can see how perfect, that's the thing the sous vide does, that perfect pink in the middle. It just absolutely great, medium rare, always. And because it's sous vide, it's not at a higher temperature on the outside, so you don't have to rest it. You notice the juice isn't running out all over the cutting board. So I like to just make some pretty slices here. And I'll be putting this on a plate in a second. But yeah, that you can see that just came out perfect. The steak I'm using is part of our meat selection we have on the website. Our wonderful Wagyu beef from.
I wonder.
And yeah, this is a sirloin cut, which
Beef.
yeah, yep. And so there it is. Let me put this on a plate here. Make it. I'm very particular, I guess is the word about my presentation. So let's get it. So there we have our steak cutting board out of the way. Now take and get a nice, some people call this a quenelle. I know there's another couple other terms for it. And we just put it on top of the steak and it'll start to melt and ooze into it. And then in a minute, let's see what Linda's doing and then I'll come back and taste it for you.
Good.
I'm over here spotting these cakes. So if I was in the kitchen, I'd be cleaning out the cupboards and finding all kinds of things to add, but I'm grounded. So what I did on this one was I just put some powdered sugar on it. It broke. So I went ahead and I put some white chocolate around it and then put blueberries on top of it. Since I didn't have the raspberries, I improvised. And then I have another one. I don't know what I'm going to do with these people, but this one, I actually chopped white chocolate and dark chocolate and kind of sprinkled it on top, put a little bit of powdered sugar on it. And then I thought, well, I can leave my ramekin, right? Or this little bowl. So I did and put white chocolate, dark chocolate, and blueberries on top of this one. So
That's
you
so
can do
good.
anything. Yeah, you can do anything with them. Like I said, raspberries would really be good with the dark chocolate. Pretty much anything. I can't, whipped cream, ice cream, anything like that. But yeah.
Can you trade with them? Let's trade for bagel bites.
You'd
That,
kill
that
it.
sounds like a wonderful midnight snack.
I
Yes.
don't know about all that. I'm gonna have a bite just so I can see what it tastes like with the wine. I brought a spoon. I didn't have, I brought my fork.
So
That was
which
nuts.
one are you pairing it with, Miss Linda?
Oh, I've got the Tanya.
Gotcha.
Yeah, empty, but I have the glass. Here. Okay. So which one? Which one should I try?
Yeah, that one.
No, the other one.
Wait, all three.
Yeah, no. Leonard will be up all night. Okay,
Peter,
so we'll
to
do
me,
the-
that looks like it was gonna be great with a rosé. There's a couple whites I would pair that with, but the Merlot and the blueberry chocolate
Yeah.
is driving me insane right now.
I know. I'm thinking the same
I
thing.
have a
We're
problem
all-
hanging on to the Merlot, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, we'll make more. Just order more of it.
Mhm.
I know the Nile Eddy is currently going out the doors. It's almost
Wow.
gone. I saw several cases of it go out this last couple of weeks. So
Well, that just sparked it right up.
Yeah, there can't be much left.
no,
Um,
maybe not even. There's maybe a dozen bottles left.
Come on.
Anybody that likes chocolate,
Taste.
this is heaven. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're pretty happy, huh?
Look, I'm gonna have to stop.
Why?
I'll wake up.
Keep going,
I'll
you
wake
got
up.
it.
I'll wake up in the morning like a swollen warthog if I eat all this. But the wine pairs well with it too. But it almost accentuates the chocolate.
Yeah, because it picks out different things. The red wines will pick out kind of the berry qualities of chocolate, but the white ones pick out the whites and the rosés pick something else out. And the blueberries are going to help tie it all together too.
Oh,
So,
I love blueberries with everything. Yeah.
yeah, no, that's a beautiful choice. But and those look great. It looks like with the powdered sugar, it looks like a ski slope there. So
Mm-hmm.
so nice and seasonal there. Not around here. We had to turn on the air conditioning today, but
Oh,
Oh, gee,
bugger.
I'm so sorry. I just got a buzz on my phone that we're having a winter storm watch again.
I
yeah,
got one too.
We got rain, so.
We had a
Yeah.
message on my new watch that said, "It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood."
Did you program Mr. Rogers?
We need to make the watch where we can have like smell-o-vision and we can take, I mean, it can mind, it's possible.
It's a smart watch.
Yeah.
Right.
okay. So I guess it's time to taste the steak.
Yes, sir.
Peter, you want
Absolutely.
to help? I need to have
Yeah,
a
I'm watering over here. I love steak. That looks
Mm.
delicious.
yeah.
Take that over sweets. Mm-mm.
Let's see. Needs a little salt, but oh, that chocolate sauce is amazing.
Talk to us, Adele. Talk to us.
Yes.
Good.
Wow,
I
wow.
lost half of it in my hand, that's why.
Oh, wow. And the wine just picks up, because of that chocolate sauce, it picks it up in ways that it normally would. Wow, that is an amazing amazing combination. If you really want a great Valentine's Day meal, here you go. So please, anyone makes it, please let me know. I want to hear about it.
We need that recipe, Mr. Peter.
Yep, I'll send it to you after dinner tonight.
All right.
What
will do.
vegetables and such might go with it?
Yeah, what else?
That's a good
Side
idea.
dishes.
Well, I mean, for this, steak, I'm always a baked potato guy. That to me, that's what has to be with steak. Vegetables, spinach would be great, broccoli, asparagus, something like that. We have a little bit of the bitterness to go to contrast what we have going on here. That's what I would go with.
Now that chocolate butter that you used, can you use it on your vegetables and starches, or is it primarily just for the meats?
Well, I could try it. It's always worth a try, and scooping some of it up with the starch would be amazing. It's not sweet. That's the thing. You look at
Yeah.
this and you think it's going to taste like a chocolate bar. It doesn't. it actually got some of the herb and from the bay leaf. It's got all that reduced wine. I took a cup of wine and reduced it down to about a tablespoon. So there's a very concentrated wine flavor in here too. For that, I use the Merlot. But you can use, I know this is a weird mythical thing, any leftover wine you have in it, but, or you open it and then finish the rest, but.
So you're
but
saying you could use any type of wine?
I would use it, I would stick with the red.
Red.
You could use a white if you want, but the red and chocolate have such an affinity. The Merlot is the obvious one, but you could have used this Tempranillo. I didn't want to waste, I had just opened it, so I had to taste it for my first time there. But yeah, it could be, you could do almost anything here. So this is, I'll make this one
how it
again.
would taste with the baked sweet potato.
Oh, I bet that would be pretty good. You're right. That's actually, and actually that would be a great reason to do either a baked sweet potato, or I like to do big sweet potato wedges in the air fryer. Yeah, steak fries would also be good, but I think, yeah, the sweet potato would be in it, and it would also look great.
Yes.
I mean, you get that, you get some nice green vegetable. Wow, you have a colorful plate going on.
Yeah.
I need another taste.
Okay,
Love
I
the
think
presentation.
somebody needs another taste here, so I guess it's pretty good here. And actually, before you taste that, let me get you a little bit of salt. I always keep my
You want any other?
my sea salt, my different salts here. Let's see, black or white. I'm going to go with the white Malden sea salt here. A couple little flakes of it, and go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna take mine, so.
Yeah, that's some wine.
Miss Adele, tell us what you're tasting.
Yummy. But I had
You're not driving anywhere.
Oh, well. You want me to?
You'll sleep well.
Yeah, it does do that. Get me happy.
No, that's a,
Well, this wine will definitely not.
okay, well,
I think that's it.
yeah, let's wrap it up so I can go eat dinner.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter and Lori and Miss Linda and Shane. Thank you guys. It was an amazing time. I had fun. Can't wait to get the recipes. And thank you, my camera woman, for getting us around. Everybody have a good night, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Good night, all.